everybody, and welcome back to the Tech Unlocked podcast, the tech podcast where we unlock the latest news, leaks, and rumors in the consumer tech world. I'm joined by my co-host, Taylor from TA Tech, and I myself am Benji from BenObi Tech, and today we have a lot to talk about. Taylor, do you want to kind of run down through some of the biggest things we'll be discussing in today's episode?
So, yeah, we have a lot to talk about from the multiple Apple events that are going to be occurring. All the iPhone, MacBook, and so much more that will be coming out later this year. And also, we will be talking about what Craig Federighi responds to the confusion over iOS 15. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about here today, guys. So, where should we start, man?
Oh, that's a great question. There's a lot of really good stuff that's happened. I think a lot of it has happened over the last few days. But it's still exciting stuff. I guess we could start with Apple having multiple Apple events scheduled for the rest of the year, which honestly is going to be crazy. I was on my mission last year, so I missed the 3 Apple events they had in September, October, and November. But apparently Apple's going to be doing that again this year. We're going to have 3 Apple events where they're going to be announcing a bunch of new products. A bunch of wallets will get thinner the end of this year. And this has actually been reported by Mark Gurman, who has a pretty good track record when it comes to Apple leaks and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on having 3 Apple events at the end of this year?
Hey, listen, I'm all for it. I mean, the more hype to these events, the more hype to these products, the better, you know? And it seems like Apple has a lot to uncover for us. So to spread these out is a really good idea. I've always said that it's cool to have a long event and, and uncover everything, but to do it in portions, I think would be better and easier on Apple's part anyway. So I'm all for it. And listen, I'm all for Apple events anyway. I've spent years. I actually remember the first year I was on YouTube. I went all the way back to the first Apple event where Steve Jobs was, and man, those events, they get better year over year, and I just love it. I'll honestly watch the same Apple event two times in 1 year. Like after
dedication.
After the day, after the day of, I'll watch it again. It gives me stuff to watch and to see how things progress year over year. And it
makes sense.
And in a way, it gives me more to talk about on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, I think though, with 3 Apple events, what has Apple got planned? They're of course going to announce the iPhone and the Apple Watch Series 7 and maybe the AirPods 3 at the first event. And then they're going to be announcing a bunch of iPads, so that'll probably be the October event. And then they've got a bunch of MacBooks that are going to be probably released in the November event. But honestly, I think Apple Track, the article that we picked for this episode, Sam talks about how he thinks that there's going to be 2 events for sure, and the third one is kind of iffy. I see where he's coming from, having 3 events, unless Apple has something really big up their sleeve that they're going to be teasing or announcing. I don't exactly know if we're going to have 3 events. I think at least 2 for sure. We're going to get iPhones, AirPods, Apple Watch, that kind of stuff, and then the other one is just going to be iPads, and we're going to get the new MacBooks and stuff, kind of more of a pro Apple event. They could even split the 2 iPhones. They could have the iPhone 13 announced in September, and then the Pros will be announced in October. I don't exactly know if that will kill their sales, but I think it's good that they're having 3 different events, so then they can kind of, because it's like the next couple months are going to be big in the smartphone world because we're going to have OnePlus releasing a new phone. I think you're going to have well, Samsung just had their event, but you have Google that are going to announce their Pixel. And so if Apple can try to drag as much attention off them as possible and take all the attention to them, they'll probably have a lot more success with this next upcoming release season, I guess you can call it. So I don't know, 2-3 Apple events. I'm down. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what Apple has in store.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So let me ask you, are you planning to buy anything that comes out this year? Or I know we talked about it a little bit in the last podcast, but
yeah, probably for now, I think I'm just going to get like a new iPhone and an Apple Watch. I might get a MacBook. Depends like on a number of different things. I mean, the MacBook I have right now works perfectly fine. So I don't know if I'm going to upgrade. It depends. If I upgrade camera, then I'll probably need to get a better computer, but it works fine for now. So probably just iPhone and Apple Watch. What about you?
Man, I mean, I guess it depends on, what comes out. So I don't know if you know that I got the iPhone 8 off of my godson, and I handed it to my dad. It's not the most perfect phone. It's not like, it's brand new or anything. It works okay. It works okay. The only thing is the battery health is like, I gotta say like 83, 82%. And, so the battery is not too good. Other than that, I mean, the phone's decent. But it's already frustrating my dad that he has to charge the phone every single night. And like it won't last him, all day. You know what I mean? Like it'll last him a good portion of the day, but not all day. So, you already know I'm going on vacation, and my dad was like, as soon as we come back from vacation, I'm gonna be heading back to work, and as soon as I can, I'm gonna get a new phone because I like it, but I don't like the battery. I need something better because he works at a warehouse and he's constantly listening to music or something with the AirPods as he's working. So you know how that goes, listening to music and stuff. The battery goes fast. So, and that's for any phone, but especially for the older iPhones.
I think so as well. Like, I mean, you could always get like a battery case. Oh no, my watch is gonna roast me because I didn't stand up for the past hour. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I mean, you could always get like a battery case or get the battery replaced. But I think, I mean, assuming as new iPhones are coming out, I might as well just consider buying like the 13 or the 13 mini or whatever.
So there was a lot, and I want to ask you this because you just kind of reminded me when you said 13 mini. There was a lot of hate towards the iPhone 12 mini because of the battery and, the size and everything. What do you think about that?
I mean, honestly, like, I think the 12 mini is a great idea. I think it goes towards a market that, although it exists, it's not that large, but I think it's a good enough demographic. Like, for example, my mom, she hates bigger phones. Like, she has an iPhone 7 right now, and she even complains about the size of that. Like, when she used to have an iPhone 5, and she used to love that form factor. She was like, this is perfect for me. It's small. I can carry it around. And she'd even have an iPhone 4 if it worked. But, like, I think for people like that, people who want a smaller phone, but they don't want to, or even people who are, like, even children who are having their first phone, they're not going to buy their parents are going to buy them a 12 Pro Max. Like, here you go. Here's this slab of glass. Go break it now. They want to get like a smaller form factor, smaller option. And I don't exactly know why people hate it. Like, yes, the battery life is not as good, but I mean, I think if Apple were to increase the battery life with the 13 mini, I think it would be a great option because there's not many other companies that are making small sized phones. And I think Taylosif made a video like a couple of weeks ago, I think, about how the iPhone 13 mini is the last chance for small smartphones, because I think Apple, if anybody can do it, it's Apple with smaller phones, and I think that the 13 mini is going to be exciting. I hope it does a lot better.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's like the same thing, you know. My dad loves the size of the iPhone 8. So if he, obviously if he got something a little bit bigger, he wouldn't care. He doesn't like the size of my 12 Pro. Like he thinks that's way too big for him. So, that size is pretty decent. So if it's decent enough with battery and stuff and the price, then I'll probably wait a couple months and then get it. Maybe down the line for Christmas. Um, I think Sam made a video. I don't know if you saw it, of the pricing of the new 13 lineup. I'm not really sure what it's gonna be, but I mean, if it's decent enough, I'll definitely pick it up.
From what I've heard, I think they're just going to be keeping the prices the same as the 12 lineup, which will make sense. I mean, Apple has been doing that for the past few years, and I think they're doing really good with it. Like, they're being able to deliver more value for the same price. And so in the end, you're going to be upgrading the next year. You're going to be paying the same that you paid the last year or the last couple of years, which I think is good. I think if they increase the price, they get a lot more hate, because already people are like, "Oh, $1,000 for a phone, I can't do that." And I think it's nice that now Apple has other options. Like, they have the SE, they have the 11, the 12, they even sell the 11 and things like that. So I think, yeah, I think the prices will probably stay the same. Even probably the storage options will stay the same. But I mean, yeah, I think, like, even though I think the 13 in general isn't even that big of an upgrade from the 12. It's going to have a couple of extra things like upgraded batteries. It's going to have like their new processor, of course, better cameras, better 5G for whoever cares about that, stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's cool.
So I got the 12 Pro thinking I was gonna be able to get 5G, and turns out that I would have to pay an extra $150 to get that.
Oh, wow. Like, a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, 5G is amazing, it's so fast." But then if you like look at and compare the speeds, it's not even that drastic of a difference.
Well, that's what my friend says. My friend has an Android, and he's like, I have 5G, and I don't like really care for it.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's like,
it's kind of like 3G to 4G already was a little bit of a difference, but I think, like, sometimes my phone switches to 3G and I don't really feel that much of a difference anyway. So, I mean, 5G, yes, it also, another big problem about 5G is that it consumes a lot more power on current smartphones, and so you're like kind of trading off battery life for slightly faster data speeds. It's not that
right. Yeah,
not that
yeah.
amazing, to be honest.
New MacBooks. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I'm excited. The thing I'm excited for the most is the Pro lineup, just because it's gonna have. Well, I mean, even the Air is gonna have the new M1X or the M2. Like, I'm really excited for the new MacBook Pros. The only thing I'm not too excited about is, like, the rumors kind of tend to go in the direction of they're removing the touch bar. I don't know what you think about the touch bar, but honestly, I love my touch bar. It's so cool. Like, just to be able to tap on it, it like adapts to certain apps. Like, when I'm editing, I can scrub through the thing. It's like, I prefer it.
You have no idea. You have no idea. If they go ahead and do that, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because honestly, the touch bar is life right now, and I don't know if I did or I was going to, but I think I scratched it. I was gonna make a video, and I think that a lot more computers need a touch bar. It's not even funny. Like, the touch bar has become something that has helped me so much when it comes to creating, watching content. I think it's so useful. A lot of people are just like, it's there. I saw this one person cover I think it was the MacBook Air with the M1, and he was like, "Oh, I just use the touch bar for, um, the scrolling up and down with brightness and volume and stuff like that." But other than that, and to me, I think it's much more than that. I don't know about you, but honestly, if it goes away, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, like the touch bar has so much potential. I think like Apple could use it a little bit more. They could have done a few other things with it. Like I think the future isn't remove the touch bar and go back to function keys. Like if you wanted to, you can turn the touch bar off and just have function keys. But then for people like me, I like my touch bar and I want a touch bar. I want to have just that option there. Like if I want to turn it off, I can turn it off.
You know how many times I'll go and when the phone rings or FaceTime, whatever, I'll answer it and use the touch bar to answer it and stuff like that. Like, it's so clutch. Why would they want to give it away? Like, come on.
I've just had an idea for a video, like a Dear Apple video, kind of like the MKBHD ones, and I'm going to talk about why the touch bar needs to stay. Because it's, yeah, like a lot of people hate it. I don't exactly know why people hate it. Like, yes, it may consume a little bit of battery life, but who cares? It probably takes away 10 minutes from your battery in total. Like, it's not something that's going to kill you. But I think the touch bar, when it first came out, I was like, this is cool. But a lot of people are like, oh, it's a gimmick, doesn't do anything. But I think it's like, people try to compare this. Like, if you say the touch bar is a gimmick, foldable phones are an even bigger gimmick. Like, that is literally, you're literally just adding a step to using your phone. Does that make sense? No. With the touch bar, you're removing steps. You're removing steps and making productivity a lot more effective and a lot quicker. So, I mean, yeah, I like the touch bar. I don't know, people who are listening to this may disagree with us, but we love the touch bar. Dear Apple, keep the touch bar. Please. Is there anything else you would like? Oh, I guess to cover a little bit more about the Macs. Like, apparently the new MacBook Air, the 2022 MacBook Air has been kind of confirmed with the colors and fresh design. Well, not confirmed, but like leaked. Honestly, I think it's nice how they're kind of making all the products look very similar. I just wish they matched the Mac colors with the iPhone a little bit more, because I think the colors that they have now, there's some colors that you don't have on the iPhone. Like, they have a pink iMac, but there's no pink iPhone. So, like, I think the thing I love Apple and how they make things different colors sometimes, but it sucks because the other devices aren't the same colors. Like, even with Space Gray, you have 50 shades of Space Gray. You got, like, the iPhone is one type of Space Gray. The Apple Watch is another type of space gray. The MacBook is another type of... It's like, it's the same color, but it's not the same color. It's called the same color, but it's not the same. It's like, I just wish, like, next year, when Apple makes these MacBook Airs, please make an Apple Watch in that same color. Please make an iPhone in that same color. Or make the MacBook Airs match the iPhone colors. Like, it's not that hard, Apple. Seriously. But... it's kind of exciting to see the redesign as well.
When I saw the Macs, the way they're colored and the way they have that big white bezel, I'm just like, why? I think it was so, like, John Prosser kept showing off different renders and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm excited. It's gonna be colored. It was completely different from the actual design, and I'm just like, and once he showed the actual design, I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, I've even seen them in person. It's just like, I can't. I have to walk away. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate Apple. Everybody who is listening, I love Apple. I mean, if you're a subscriber to my channel, you know that. So there's just some things like this that I just don't agree on. Like, I'm sorry.
Have you ever watched any videos from Apple Explained?
Yes.
So he made a video about it. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
But he kind of like explained why it is like that. And he made a clarification at the beginning. He's like, look, it's not a white bezel. It's actually very light gray. Which apparently it is. Like, it's not white like completely white. And the reason why Apple does it is to make it kind of blend in with the environment, because a lot of like at least modern houses, they've got like white walls and stuff like that. They look very modern, and like having an iMac makes it kind of blend in with its surroundings. So that's kind of like what his explanation was of it. I mean, it like white bezels, they may, I think it kind of depends on where you put this MacBook. Like if you put it in like a dark room, then the white bezels, you're going to be able to notice them. You're going to be like, ew, that's disgusting. But if you
Yeah.
put it in like a light room on a white desk or whatever, or even a wooden desk, it still looks decent. Like I personally don't mind the white bezel around the iMac. Like I've seen them in person. They're not that bad. I think people are just kind of blowing that hole out of the water.
Yeah.
And I
for
mean,
sure.
you can always cover it. I'm sure D brand does like some sort of skin where you can make them black or whatever. There are ways of hiding it as well. So it's not the end of the world. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And if you don't like it, but you still want to buy it, you can always get like a skin or something for it, or just put black tape on it.
Exactly.
Who cares?
You know how many memes I saw on Twitter and Instagram of people putting like that, I don't know if you've seen that like bluish tape that you put when you're getting ready to paint a room or something. You know how many people have put that kind of tape? It's like, what the heck, man? People have the craziest ideas. It's funny. It's funny. But
Yeah.
it's true. I mean, if you have a real problem with that, I mean, easily just decorate it with something. You know, put stickers around the computer. I mean, if people put Apple stickers on, you know, anything, you know, why not just put something over there? You know.
Yeah. So I guess moving on a little bit. So the EU, they they've kind of said to Apple, hey, you need to remove the Lightning port because it's causing a lot of bad pollution here. What do you think of that? Like they want Apple to switch to USB-C just so it's not as polluted.
First of all, that's the lamest thing I've ever heard. Gonna be straightforward with you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's super weird that they even think that. But I think that it would be a good idea because for me personally, for years, you know, owning just my iPhone and my iPad, I loved having one cable for everything. You know, I think that's so much better. So I just wish that they would go back to that. And that's why I said, you know, just do either USB-C everything or, you know, make things wireless charge, you know. And for a while, I was hearing that they were going to try to make a wireless charger for the MacBook and everything else. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but, you know, I think that could be the future as well. I don't think that, and I'm going to be very honest, I do not think that we're going to go completely wireless. Like, I don't think we're going to lose the charging ports on devices. I think that would be the wrong decision. I think that's completely crazy. So, you know, at one point, I was liking the idea, but the more I thought about it, it was just like, you know, then you're going to have to buy wireless chargers for everything, and that's just insane, you know. At one point, I don't know if you heard, but there was one point that they were saying that the MacBooks were going to go back to the magnetic charging port.
MagSafe.
Yeah, the MagSafe. And I'm just like, what?
I mean, apparently they are on the new MacBook Pros. Apparently the MagSafe's coming back. I don't exactly know how it's gonna come back, but apparently it is. So I don't know.
I don't. Hey, listen. If it is, I'm all here for it to see how it's gonna work. But I'm already prepared to hear the hate.
I think it's kind of stupid how they're targeting Apple. They're like, oh, please, change to USB-C, because like if Apple were to change to USB-C, think about it. Like, people who currently have an iPhone that has a lightning port and things like that, they upgrade, and then they'll have to throw their lightning their lightning cables away. Like lightning will no longer be used. Therefore, people will be throwing those cables away that they already have. And then landfills are just going to be full of lightning cables, which of course, like in the long run, it won't be as bad because then everybody's going to have USB-C. So there's going to be less people throwing cables away, I guess. But still, like there's other companies that could have targeted that are making phones with micro USB. Still, like you can't target Apple and be like, "Oi, we know you like your port, but please change it. It's bad for the environment." It's like, shut up. But also, like, the problem is there's even, like, the Apple Watch would have to change to USB-C. If they want this, they have to change USB-C. The MacBooks would have to stay with USB-C. You'd have to change the Apple Pencil. Well, I mean, the Apple Pencil's already not got a cable, but the Apple Pencil 1, it's got lightning. You've got a lot of lightning accessories already. I think Apple is in a stage where if they were to switch completely to USB-C on the iPhone, like, I don't think because then, like, give it a couple years and the phones are going to go portless. Like, I think we were talking about this last week about MagSafe. And, like, it doesn't make sense for Apple to make the change now, only to change it again in a couple of years. Like, just remove the port. And in fact, actually, after this, there were some patents that were coming out of Apple removing the port entirely. So, I mean, I think, like, yes, USB-C is a great cable. And I think if everything switched to USB-C, that would be amazing. But Apple should have done this like 3 or 4 years ago. They can't come now and be like, okay, we're switching to USB-C. And then 2 years later, we're going to get rid of USB-C. We're going portless on everything. So.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be really interesting.
Don't want to go too political or anything, but the EU should just keep their mouths shut. Like, they do not know anything about this.
Exactly.
They're just a bunch of clowns.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool USB-C, but.
So this wasn't in like our plans or anything, but I do want to ask you this question. Do you think that Apple, seeing how, they're trying different markets and stuff like that, do you ever think that they're going to make, like, let's say, home appliances and stuff?
Honestly, that would be cool, but I'm sure they'd be overpriced. Like they do the Apple dishwasher, and they charge a $10,000 starting price for it or something. I think that would be really cool though. Like if Apple started to expand in that kind of thing, I think they'd be like, I would love to see a dishwasher designed by Apple, or a washing machine designed by Apple. That would be so interesting. Or even a microwave. You just got like this white microwave that's just like aluminum all over the place.
Right, exactly. and also,
pleasing.
like, I mean, other companies have started doing the same thing. I can't think of the name now, but there's this one company that makes the fridge that you can actually see with your phone, that you can see things inside. Can you imagine, like,
yeah, I think
making...
it's like Samsung and LG do that and stuff.
Yeah, can you imagine Apple making that for, like, your laundry, washer and stuff like that? Washer and dryer and stuff like that? How every time that, like, the thing stops, you get a notification, hey, your clothes are ready. That'd be awesome. Or, like, if they made a microwave, you step away from the microwave, and it'll send you a notification, your food's ready, go and get it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, honestly, like, I think Apple, like, with the Apple ecosystem, the thing is, like, when people are in the Apple ecosystem and they like it so much, they want to expand. And so if Apple were to be like, oh, by the way, we sell washing machines, people are like, let's see how much it costs. And they're like, I'll sell my kidney. I don't buy it.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like something crazy like that. They're just gonna go get a fat loan from the bank and be like, I'm gonna go buy an Apple washing machine today.
Can you imagine, like, the deals that they would have, like, if you could get it for, like, so much a month and stuff like that? That would be awesome too.
Oh yeah, that's true. They could even. Oh yeah, honestly, like, I think Apple, if they do things right,
I thought about that.
They're good.
I thought about that, and I'm just like, ooh, you're giving me good ideas to ask you now. So, That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Let's call Apple up tomorrow and be like, you need to enter into this. You need to expand your smart home business.
Oh,
Because I
they
mean, they
will.
could
I mean,
always.
honestly.
They could even like. I think maybe even if Apple didn't enter into that market, but they partnered with certain companies, like they could partner with LG and they could add their washing machines and things to HomeKit. I think like yes, Apple could do it, but they could also go and like Apple has partnered with companies in the past, like with Belkin, with different chargers, with LG for different monitors and things like that. So I think they could easily be like, "Hey, LG, we'd love to," because I mean now they're not making smartphones, so they're focusing on their stuff. So they're not focusing on getting those appliances integrated into Android because they don't make Android stuff anymore. So I think if they were to partner with Apple or something, I think that would be that they would dominate so much. It would be
Oh, for
so
sure.
good, I think, if they did that.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
But I guess we'll have to see. Well, we'll see what Apple has up their sleeve with HomeKit and HomePods and whatever. We can move on a little bit. So Craig Federighi, he kind of made a statement the other day because people were confused about the whole child safety policy thing, and he kind of went and cleared some things up. Honestly, I think that was good, but I mean, I didn't really understand like what the difference was from what they said to what he said. He's like, I think people were confused. This is what it actually is, and it's like that's exactly what they said.
I still don't understand anything
So,
about
I mean,
that.
I think like after reading it, it kind of made me feel a little bit more reassured, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what you thought.
I kind of like skimmed through it, and I'm still kind of confused. So I'm hoping that at some kind of event they'll talk about it a little bit so we can understand more. Or somebody,
Yeah.
you know.
Have Tim Cook come out and be like, "This is what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for coming."
So it's just like, what kind of thing are you like, gonna be scanning? Like, are you gonna scan all pictures of kids? Like, can we not take pictures of kids anymore? Like, So it's like, I don't know.
It kind of does it when you upload to iCloud. So like, if you wanted to hide things, I mean, this is a bad thing, but like if you wanted to hide things, you could just turn iCloud off. So like even their whole system of like, oh yeah, let's protect the children, it doesn't work if the criminal knows that it's gonna upload to iCloud and then iCloud is gonna scan it and be like, oh, this matches these other pictures that are on the government system.
I don't know who I heard it from, but I was like, there was somebody I heard it from, and they're just like, I'm glad that they're doing this and they announced this, but what about for those people who like, we're planning on, God, God forgive me, but like, what's gonna happen to that? And it's just like, well, now they're gonna know, don't do it. I mean, who would in the first place? But don't do it.
I mean, I hope with this they managed to, I guess, put the crime rate down a little bit more, but I don't think it's gonna do much because there's so many workarounds around it. So now that Apple has announced and like this is what we're doing, like if they did it secretly, I think it would have been. I mean, I don't know because then people would kind of lose their trust with Apple. But I mean, other companies do it and they've never really said anything. Like I'm sure Google goes through every single photo and like whatever it is, because I mean it can scan, like if you search in Google Photos for, let's say, pictures of dogs, it will show you all of your pictures about dogs and things like that. So already iCloud, like Google Photos is already scanning all of your photos and labeling them for certain things. So when you search for them, it'll do that. And I think, I'm not sure if Apple does that because I mean I've only had an iPhone for a week and I've had a Samsung phone for 2 years, but I don't know. Does it already do that? Kind of. And I guess this scanning system is just an advanced version of it that goes and searches for certain things. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what Apple does, what Apple says with all of this. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care if somebody's looking through my photos. If it's
I don't care
to
either.
save children.
Honestly, if you're gonna be looking through my photos, all you're gonna see is pictures, of course, of my family, but most of it is like projects that I'm doing for YouTube, thumbnails I'm creating, things like that. So go ahead, I don't care. you know. So that's all. Like, I mean, if you were to do that today, like, all you would see is thumbnails that I'm creating for future videos. Cause like, I don't want to. I don't know. At the same time, I feel like I want to, you know, make videos because, as you know, I'm going on vacation. So, you know, I want to make videos that way I don't have to make them there while I'm on vacation. But at the same time, I feel like I'm gonna have to anyway. Like, I feel like there's gonna be something that pops up that I'm gonna have to record about. So I don't know. Should I do all this work and prepare videos, or should I just, like, if something comes up, I'll do a video. If not, then I'll be taking a hiatus for a while. I don't know.
But I guess we're kind of running a little low on time. The last thing, unless there's anything else that popped up for you, the last thing we wanted to kind of discuss is about the details of the Apple Watch Series 7, which is exciting. So updated, there's going to be like an updated redesign and stuff like that. What are your thoughts from what we've seen so far?
I think it's a really neat design. I like how everything is going to, like, that squared design like we have on the iPads and iPhones. My question to you about that, do you think that the MacBooks are ever going to see that redesign, or?
I mean, if you think about it, they already kind of are like that. Like, I mean, my MacBook is pretty flat on the sides, unless like the lid and the bottom are kind of curved. But I think the MacBooks could go for that redesign as well. Probably not the MacBook Air, just because of how the MacBook Air's design is kind of like a bit of a wedge shape. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for this redesign because the Apple Watch, I guess, hasn't had that much of a redesign. Like, the Series 4 was a really nice redesign, like the bigger screen and stuff like that. And this is kind of taking it further and making the edges squared off, which I guess will leave more space inside the watch so they can add more features into it. So I think that's pretty cool. Something I hope they don't do is they change the Apple Watch bands, because like everybody who has an Apple Watch right now has a ton of Apple Watch bands, and if they changed like the shape of them or whatever, I think that would kind of suck. But
oh yeah,
hopefully they don't do that.
The shape and the size, like the width, I really hope that just all stays the same, because I don't want to buy more bands. Like, I already have enough between the bands I have for the Series 4 that now my mom owns, the ones that I have for the SE that I own. I'm really hoping that I can, if I ever were to buy the new Apple Watch, I really hope I could fit these bands on it, because that's just going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, for sure.
If you ask me.
Like, I really hope that the bands are still going to work. And it's cool that also, like, the screen apparently is going to be, like, slightly bigger. I don't exactly know how much bigger. But I dig this flat looking design. I think it looks very in line with everything else that Apple's making, like with the iPhones and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm honestly pretty excited about this.
Yeah, for sure. One thing, I don't remember if they announced it for WatchOS, but one thing I would really love to do on the Apple Watch is change the ringtone. I can't stand the ringtone of the Apple Watch. I don't know about you, but I think that they should add a couple more.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if you could change it. That's true. I mean, I don't mind it. I like it. But yeah, I think in like a while, give it like 6 months, I'll be sick and tired of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and I was even saying, like, even when you get a notification for, like, a text message or Facebook, I would love to change those too. I mean, if you can jailbreak and stuff like that, and even with the shortcuts, if you could do certain things with the shortcuts, why not be able to change your ringtone? That would be so cool.
But I guess Apple and customization aren't very good friends sometimes. So, yeah, I don't know if Apple...
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, we're already lucky that we have shortcuts, that we have widgets and all this other stuff. So, I mean, slowly, I get teased by my Android friends. Oh, we can customize this, that, the other. What can you guys do? And it's just like, man, listen, we're not all about that life. Sorry. But, I mean, of course, like I'm saying here, there could be a couple things here and there that you could customize and things, a couple workarounds and stuff, but I don't know. Here's to hoping one day.
I mean, if you want to customize your phone, just buy an Android phone and deal with all those problems.
Listen, I complain.
I'm sticking with my iPhone.
Listen, I complain with my friends all the time who have Android, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have that problem," They always keep teasing me about having Apple, and how much I love it and stuff. You don't know how many times they watch my YouTube videos, and I mean they're trying to be funny. They're good guys. They're funny, and they'll go ahead and make my YouTube videos, like parts of it, into memes. It's like, where do you guys come up with these things? It kind of reminds me of I don't know if you know, actually you do, Tech Rant, Trent's Tech. It kind of reminds me of the stuff he does with other creators. He makes funny memes and stuff. Hey, listen, it's all in good fun though.
Sounds good. Well, if any of you have any questions or anything you'd like us to feature in the show next, or if any sponsors would like to sponsor us, please feel free to reach out to us on Twitter individually or on our Tech Unlocked social media platform account things. But yeah, is there anything any last words you would like to share with everyone?
No, that's about it, man. Thank you for an awesome time as usual. Always fun to do this podcast with you. It's been a long time dream of mine, like I've said in the first podcast, to do this. So, I look forward to doing more and maybe having guests and stuff. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and hopefully Apple approves our podcast on Apple Podcasts so that we get more listeners.
I'm waiting for that. I keep checking every day and I don't see it, and it's like, man, just get on with it already.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We hope you have a wonderful week, and we will catch you all in the very next episode.
See you guys later.